All right, my good peoples, welcome back again. And we're doing another live reaction from 504 Street Stories. And everybody, thanks for purchasing the merch, Awkward Beginnings Podcast, hoodies, hats, beanies, all of that, you know what I mean? Appreciate everybody who have purchased so far and everybody that's came in so far. Come in, hit that like button, man, and wipe your feet off, relax, get your popcorn and get comfortable. This is another story about liar, loose cannon. So everybody get comfortable. This is a good one. Mr. Loose Cannon, who has stolen his identity from a prominent New York producer, you know what I mean? And he felt comfortable stealing this guy's identity and running with it to No Jumper, Academics, and some other platforms. So, y'all check this out. Here we go. Like I hear it, here we go, like I say. So, check it out, man. All right, here it go right here.
With this platform, if you are a gang member and you become a host on No Jumper and you are on this platform, like at least the previous version of No Jumper where we had the news and the
hold on, y'all. Let me get this right for y'all. There we go. All right. Here's 504 Street Stories about liar, loose cannon.
daily shows and everything like that. If you're a gang member, this platform and the level of analysis that you're going to get from the fans and everybody out there is not likely that it's going to be good for how you're viewed in the streets or whatever in the long run.
Say, bro, I need y'all to lock in for this one because what I'm about to break down is the biggest mistake the fake loose cannon has ever made in his life. And that's saying something because this made a lot of them. But this one right here, this particular move is the kind of thing that does not just embarrass you on the internet. This is the kind of thing that gets picked up by the feds, the kind of thing that adds charges to an already existing federal situation, the kind of thing that digs a hole so deep that no lawyer, no publicity stunt, and no amount of internet spend is gonna pull him out of it. So pay attention. Let's start with who Tremaine Ashley Wood is before we get into what he did. Because context matter when you are dealing with somebody who spent years building a persona that had absolutely nothing underneath it.
Me? I love that I'm not going to be like your role model or anything like that. I want people to die. I want people to get shot. I'm not a nice person. So at the end of the day, it's like, so the gangbangers, y'all listening to me, it's like, I don't give a if your niggas live or die, dead homies. It's like somebody gonna have to shoot one of y'all niggas, and that's just how it is in this world.
This dude had no platform of his own. He was using Shanique Mill's YouTube channel. No following he built from scratch. No credibility he earned through anything he actually did in the streets. What he had was access to the internet. The academics gave him a chair. No Jumper gave him a microphone. And every single time somebody handed him that access, he used the same exact.
Yeah, this dude was a damn fool, man. As y'all will soon see, he care about what he said, who he hurt, you know what I'm saying, and who he drug into his stories.
That way to run his mouth about Big U.
We're gonna talk about another video that it wasn't on the internet, they sent to my PO. Now, Loose Cannon have a warrant for his arrest because Big Useless sent the video. If he lie, I'm gonna play the recording. I just don't want to play the recording of my PO telling me I have a warrant for my arrest because you know what? It's gonna make things worse. But if you lie, sweetie, Big Useless, Sugar Plum, if you lie, I'm gonna expose it.
Keep it 100. That was the whole strategy. Get on somebody else's platform, attach Big U name to whatever story he's been spinning that day. Let the audience react and ride that reaction like it was really street cred. This dude was out here claiming sisters like that hood produced them.
What's up, cuz? Neighborhood Loose Cannon, aka Rapid Fire. You know what it is.
Putting it on the dead homies, moving through the internet like he had some authentic connection to what that set actually represents. Let me be clear, you will not convince a single person who genuinely came from that hood that the Rolling 60s bred what Loose Cannon is. That is not what comes out of there.
Nobody from California believe this dude, though, man. Everybody knows. These people here in California, they know.
You brought him around. Big U opened doors for him. And instead of carrying that with any level of respect, this man turned every platform he could access into a weapon aimed at the same person who made it even possible for him to claim 60s.
Big U looking at it like, nigga, BT coming up, the Oscars coming up.
Wait,
like,
so Big U was with it?
Money.
You're not with it.
What?
He wouldn't be with y'all jacking up an artist.
No, I mean, he be in a parking lot. That's just the type of nigga he is.
But he would know about it.
No, he knows about everything like that.
That tells you everything you need to know about his character before we even get into what he did to his own blood. Don't even get me started on IBM, the movement he attached himself to, the brand he used to project fake street cred to the internet. IBM was built on one thing. Jumping dudes, moving on individuals in numbers, so the psychological impact of the violence landed harder than the physical damage alone. That was the formula. That was how Loose Cannon was moving in these streets.
Look, y'all gotta stop playing. There's a reason why they call me the boogeyman. Like, this is facts. It's not no fairy tale. This is not what these rappers, like, they portray my life. Bro, I'm just blessed to be a music producer, artist, a rapper. Like,
don't you believe it?
Everything. An actor, but I'm just a real tough dude that stand on everything I say. So y'all don't get it misconstrued. I want problems. If I'm giving up this energy and you have a problem with it, do something. Because when I see you, I'm going to do something. It ain't going to be it ain't no mystery. It's nothing like that. I just get busy. Point blank, plain and simple. Like it or not, I am him.
You comply or the whole crew packs you out and the message get delivered in a way that nobody in your circle is going to forget quickly. And them boys was robbing people, beating people, putting a full court press on dudes who had nothing to do with nothing, and they filmed it all. They put it on the internet because the fear only works if the audience knows what you're capable of. That was IBM. That was the operation, and Loose Cannon was not just the face of it. He was the ringleader of the whole shit. The no jumper incident was what things started breaking down publicly. When Loose Cannon moved on Jay Reed, the plan was the same. Apply pressure, establish the fear, send the message. But Jay Reed did not go to sleep when he got hit. And in that moment, the escalation came. The gun came out, not because the situation had become life or death in any legitimate sense, but because the intimidation needed a new level to land the way Loose Cannon needed it to land. They robbed them dudes out there. Had Marciano stripped down to nothing right there outside of no jumper. And what was supposed to be another demonstration of what IBM does to people who do not comply. Became a criminal case the moment the complaint got filed, or warrants for individuals from that night who are actively being sought out right now. That is the consequence of building a movement on intimidation and violence and thinking the documentation will never catch up to them. Then this clown went back on the internet like nothing happened. That right there is the character we are dealing with. A man who commits a robbery and then beaten and then returns to his regular programming without breaking stride. Dude went right back to the platform. Dude went right back to the stories about Big U. Goes back to the clown act on the internet. Because in Loose Cannon's world, everything is manageable as long as you control the narrative, as long as you are louder than the truth, as long as the internet hears your version first and has no reason to question it. That is the move that does not have a recovery, because you cannot unsay what you said on camera. You cannot take back a confession that is sitting in the federal file. You cannot spin your way out of your own recorded words when a prosecutor plays in court. And now that boy is sitting in MDC Los Angeles on a federal indictment, built from content on the internet he created himself. That is not bad luck, homie. That is the direct consequence of a man who could not stop performing long enough to understand the difference between building a reputation and building a case against himself. But bruh, as bad as all of that is, the dispensary confession is not the most diabolical thing Tremaine Ashley Williams has ever done, not even close. Law enforcement picked up the case from the incident outside of No Jumper, whose Cannon made a choice. It called deliberate.
He told on himself. Everything he did, he went straight back to YouTube with it and ran lives over and told everything that he did, went straight back to his lives to tell everything as if the world didn't know already.
Choice. He told investigators his twin brother Jermaine did it. His blood, the person who shared his fate.
His own brother told on his own brother. Crazy.
Came from the same mother and father, and Jermaine Williams was locked up when it happened. Now that's some cold-blooded shit. Could not have been there under any circumstances whatsoever. Word on the internet is that his parole officer had to come to the courthouse personally with paperwork to prove it. Jermaine had to stand in front of a judge and prove his own innocence because his twin put his name in the criminal report to walk free.
And we have on the plate, we have the buster-ass Negro Loose Cannon. We have this lying-ass dude, man. This dude is something else, man. I can't tell y'all, man, that this dude, bro, this dude do some diabolical stuff I ever seen in my life, man. Now, we all remember the No Jumper incident, right? With Jay Reed and the other brother, right? You know, they filed a case on that, man. You know, for whoever went down there, filed a complaint, they filed a complaint, and they picked up that case, bro. But this is the catch right here. This dude, Loose Cannon, told the people that it was his brother. So they picked up his brother yesterday. He went down to his parole officer. His parole officer told him that he had to take him in because he had a warrant. So
that's just diabolical, man. You put it off on your twin brother. Now, who in the world could you be closer to? Who could you have more attachments to than your own twin brother? This dude cannot be trusted.
He explained to the parole officer that, man, I was in jail when that jumped off. So the parole officer looked at it, he was like, oh yeah, man, you was in jail. So after that, he unhandcuffed him and cut him loose and told him he had to go to court the next day. So got to the court building, they told him, irregardless if it was a mistake or not, they was gonna keep him and give him a no bail. So his parole officer had to come down there and straighten everything out with all the stipulations, all the paperwork, and all that type of stuff.
The charges Loose Cannon tried to put on his own brother: assault with a deadly weapon, robbery, possession of a firearm, would have sent that man away for years, destroyed his life. And Tremaine Williams knew exactly what those charges meant when he said his name. I'm telling you, right, dude understood the weight of what he was transferring onto his brother's record. He said it anyway because his freedom was worth more to him than his twin brother's life. This is the type of dude who called into a podcast and claimed the whole thing was a publicity stunt. This is exactly the kind of spin he would put on it. Not accountability, not honesty, a publicity stunt. Because
like they say, man, this the type of nigga that'll shit in the bed and blame
everything in this world is content. Everything is a play, even throwing.
Like I said, this the type of nigga that'll shit in the bed and blame it on the baby, man. Sad.
Your own twin into a criminal case. That is loose cannon at its core, homie. His daddy is built the same exact way, and the streets have always known it. That pattern did not start with Tremaine. It was already established before him. You do not get to claim the parts of your lineage that generate respect while pretending the parts that explain your behavior do not exist. Performing for a camera on the internet while sacrificing real people behind closed doors. Making up bullshit lies. Snitching. That runs in the family. The culture kept platforming both of them like receipts for not sitting right there in plain sight the entire time. For every IBM dude with an active warrant on their name right now, this is not a suggestion, bruh. Y'all better get the fuck out of Dodge. Whose cannon is in MDC, Los Angeles. He cannot do a single thing for you. Man who handed his own twin to the system to protect himself is not the one who is going to come through when your situation gets critical. He already showed you exactly what he does when the pressure is real. He points at whoever is closest and keeps moving. You were there that night. The warrants are active. The clock does not start running, bruh. Eddie Boy said it, and the internet co-signed every word. Fuck him, fuck his daddy, fuck everybody still riding with him, knowing what the paperwork says and what MDC Los Angeles currently holds. Tremaine Ashley Williams put his twin brother in a case he committed, bragged about a federal crime on camera while the government already had a witness, built IBM on group intimidation and called it a movement, and is now in federal custody with a case constructed largely from his own recorded statements. The biggest mistake of his life is not over yet because everything he said on those platforms is still out there, still searchable, still playable in the courtroom.
Now, as far as the law goes, I don't know if he can be prosecuted for his own lies, because a lot of this stuff is lies that he told on No Jumper, you know, and nobody got hurt behind it besides the people that got jumped on or whatever. You know, nobody was actually killed behind his situations or whatever. But if he does get out, you know, what about the people that he has pitted? What about the people that ended up in jail due to his lies? You know what I'm saying? Sad.
And the feds have not finished reading yet, bruh. I'm telling you right now, that shit gonna end up bad. Let me say this one more time for everybody in the back who thought this dude was really something. Loose Cannon is not from the 60s. He's not a gangster. He is not somebody who stands on any code or any principle. He's a man who's used to group intimidation as his calling card, bragged about federal crimes on camera, and when law enforcement came knocking, he gave them his twin brother's name and went back to the regular programming like that was acceptable. Like that was just business. Like blood does not mean anything when your own freedom is on the line. That is
It's told on his own brother. That's why I think that's why his so-called wife left him, because I think she feels like if you willing to put your own brother in jail, shit, what would you do to me and your own kid for your freedom?
who the fake loose cannon actually is. When you bust it all down and strip him of every fabricated story, every performance he put out for the internet, the indictment is real and the twin brother situation is documented. Everything this man built on the internet has already been answered. He has done in real life, and real life always wins that argument. The culture does not owe protection to men who do not protect their own blood. That is the floor, not the ceiling, the absolute floor. And Loose Cannon went straight through it without looking back. What happens next in that courtroom is just the formality. The verdict on who he is already in. The moment he said his twin brother's name and never looked back.
Shit. Got your ass.
It's dangerous, man. It's a dangerous brother right here. All right, y'all. That's the end of that video. Y'all hit the like, and I'll probably do another live a little bit later on. I see another video that I want to do a live reaction to about Wack 100. So thank you for coming. Hit that like button, and I appreciate everybody. See y'all later on.